6029639. Call in. We are talking Jets training camp. We're talking about everything, man. There's so much to discuss. Zack Wilson still ain't signed. We're going to get into it. So we're going to get into it in 1 second, folks. Just hold on for a second. Salutes to everybody watching. I'm going to connect the show audio, and we're going to get into it. Hold on 1 second, folks. What's going on, folks? It's your boy Long Beach Joe, and we are back at it. Listen, Jets training camp has got going, as we know, as of right now. You know what I'm saying? Zack Wilson's still not signed. We're going to talk about that tonight. We got a lot to discuss, a lot to cover. We're going to be talking about players that, could have some pressure on them in this training camp. Some guys, may not make it. There could be some guys, on the wheel, could be up out of here. I want to talk about guys that could surprise as well. An overall feeling about the team. You see CJ Mosley, he's looking phenomenal. Carl Lawson looks phenomenal. Just so much to talk about here. But again, this is all highlighted by, Zack Wilson at this point not being signed. So listen, I am the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth to folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. So without further ado, folks, let's go ahead and get into the show. I am fired up. I'm fired up, people. All right? Listen, also, I'm on iTunes as well. At The Long Beach Joe Show. You can check me on there. Please subscribe to your boy's iTunes, man. I love, hearing from people, especially in my my feedback and my comments as well. Please go on there. Give me a rating, man. Give me a 5-star rating. Let me know what you think about the show. I definitely go through the ratings and read a lot of them. Salutes to everybody, that drops those ratings. Really, really appreciate you folks, man. Really, really do. So let me know how you folks feel about the show. I'm also on Blog Talk Radio as well. I live stream while I do my Blog Talk Radio. So on Blog Talk Radio, it's Long Beach Joe, the Long Beach Joe Show on there. So you can go there and, follow me on Blog Talk Radio and as well. Like I just said, I live stream while I do my show. So you can catch that on Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets is the live YouTube stream. And we have fun. We like I said, I live stream, do the show live. So you can check in. You can kick it with all my savages in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just getting after it. We go back and forth, along with me going back and forth with callers as well. But we also play games from time to time, too. You know what I'm saying? So we play a lot of stuff, Street Fighter, all kinds of things. We have a lot of fun. So come join us. Subscribe to that channel, Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Again, Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to that channel and turn on your notifications. You know what I'm saying? And so when everything's going, you'll be in the know. YouTube will send you that notification. So listen, we're about to get into it, folks. We're getting into it. And there's so much to discuss. Zack Wilson still unsigned. The Jets have had quite a bit of time to get this done, and they have not been able to get it done. Now we're going into camp. Camp has started. Guys are reporting everything's working well. He's the only player that has yet to report, which is insane. So we're all worried about how this situation is going to pan out and play out. And we'll talk about that tonight as well. But before I get into that, everyone knows that I am a Jets fan from California and I bleed green, okay? I bleed green, all right? I love this football team. Love it, all right? And let me tell you something. I also love when I'm able to meet other fans as well out here or from around the world that talk to me about their love for the New York Jets as well. Because there's a lot of fans that are not from the New York area, not from the Jersey area, or, they are and they're traveling all around. And they're able to connect all across the place with other Jets fans. And it's always beautiful to hear those stories about how people became fans and what they do and how they hang out with their fan clubs, because there's so many Jets fan clubs from around the world. So tonight, we're going to speak with my guy, Mateen Kimmett from the San Francisco Jets fan club. West Coast, West Coast, West Coast. All right. You know how it is out here. West Coast is the best coast. So we're going to talk to Mateen Kimmett tonight. We're going to bring him on, and we're going to talk about, how he feels about the Jets and everything that they're doing up in San Francisco with the San Francisco Jets club. So Mateen, I want to thank you for coming on tonight. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. I can hear you. It's good to hear you're doing well, man. I love talking to you. We've met before and had a great time sitting down watching games, man. Can you tell me what made you become a Jets fan? Like, what made you become a fan of this team?
Oh man, that's I'm first. So I have a little bit of bone to pick. I mean, I represent both coasts. So I'm originally in New York. I got to give you some West Coast love, of course, in my group, my boys
That's
up in San Fran, and Oakland is really my second home.
Mm-hmm.
But Best Coast, I don't know if I can sit by with that one.
Now, come on, Mateen, come on now. Listen, it ain't where you from, it's where you at. You know what I'm saying? Where you at right now? All right. All right then. You know what I'm saying? You living your life.
So I bring that up because when you say, hey, what made you become a Jet fan? I mean, I grew up in the Bronx, and my dad, it's Mets and Jets. That's how it goes. And being in the Bronx is really difficult to be a Mets fan in Yankee land. So it just connected because we would go to Shea for the Mets, and then he took us to Shea for the Jets game. That's the first Jets game I ever saw. The first real live football I ever saw. I think it was Joe Namath, and it was like a preseason game against the Packers. And from that point on, it was done, man. I was hooked.
Wow, what a story. Yeah, listen, there's so many people that tell some of the same kind of stories that you just told about going to those games, seeing it, and you're hooked. There's a lot of people, and we've talked to so many people. I know a lot of Jets fans that say, hey, listen, I grew up in a house. My mother and father said, listen, we wear green and so will you. You don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wear this green jersey and you gonna wear it too. And that's the end of the story, And a lot of people just come into the situation like that. And there's some people that fell in love with the team, watching from afar, and they just say, hey, you know what? I like the Jets. I think I want to follow them. Or they picked up and had a favorite player. Some people were really drawn to Wayne Corbett and his story, and that just made them fall in love with the New York Jets. So it's great to hear, your story and how you became a fan. Now, listen, how does your fan club become about, dude? Like, and where do you people hang out? Can you let them know about that?
Yeah, well, this fan club is kind of contentious, man. It's some sorely dudes up in there. Their bar is the Rec Bar, the Rec Room up in San Fran, California. And on Facebook, the Facebook page is New York Jets fans in San Francisco. Mainly, our main man is Dean Barbella. He kind of, is our chief administrator throughout all Jets land up in the Bay. There's the theme song and the victory song is Total Eclipse of the Heart. I don't even know what to say about that, but I just had to let the world know that's how we rock out. For the Jets. And this, I've got to say, this is sort of, per Danny said, our mascot is a guy named George Howell. He's a 60-year-old swimmer who goes to Alcatraz every day when he gets out of bed and does 100 push-ups, swims after Alcatraz, and when he's not cheering the Jets, he's a boxer, piano man, and exotic, erotic ball promoter. How about that? So, and he packs a mean punch. He's built like a leprechaun, and he's a cool dude. One other thing I got to say is that our bartender is a guy who's pretty important, and he lost his brother, and God, I'm trying to think of his name now. I'm oh my God, I can't think of the guy's name. I'm drawing a blank here. Scotty, the bartender's name is Evan, and his brother Scotty recently passed. So I want to give a big shout out to Evan and his family. Because we all bleed green, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah, absolutely.
Give a shout out to the folks, and there's a pretty nice size following in the Bay on both sides. And, I've been a part of a couple of groups. In fact, me and you met, not with this particular group, the SF Jet fans. We met in Oakland.
Yes, sir.
And we used to. There was a place called the Bear, and then everybody left the Bear and went to another spot up a little further on Grand Avenue. And me and you would sit in there and scream. And I was with the Pac-Man boys and Yoni Fine and that crew. So I want to give them a shout out too. So
yeah.
I'm glad. Good to see you and hear from you, and just give you are corralling the entirety of Jetland. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, and like you said, I got friends up there in the Bay, and went up there and had a good time. And yeah, we used to have so much fun. And it was just, I was so delighted to be surrounded by other Jets fans like myself. Even though, again, I've hung out with the SF club, I've, been around there and met other Jets fans, to be able to sit down there with you folks and just have so much fun talking about the team, watching the team live, reacting, to everything that was going on. Cause I think that was the season where we kind of had a really up and down season that year. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Now listen, Mateen, I got to ask you as well, because a lot of people don't know, up there in the Bay, there's a lot of crazy rabid fans. When the Raiders were there, they were crazy. Let me tell you something. 49ers fans are crazy. Can you tell us what it's like being a Jet fan in that area, man? How does it feel when you go out and wear your green? Do you get hassled at all?
Well, of course, man. That's Raider country, man. It's Raider Nation, dude. So Raider Nation, man, is insane. I've been in the black hole with a Revis white jersey on in a sea of blackness, dude.
Oh,
I've been there. It is no joke. I saw them take out a Denver fan on a stretcher.
man.
So they don't play, man. The Raiders sad to see them die. I really can't give them no respect going to Vegas. Come on, to leave the day like that. That was the Vegas Raiders. Come on, who could actually say that, right?
Yeah.
So, going back to when Howard Cosell was like the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. It has to stay there. So they're pretty. Rabid 49er fans are wine and cheese. They have an entire different vibe.
Yeah.
They don't scare nobody. What they have though is they just bust out with the rings and the legacy talk. But I have never been wolfed down by anybody, but certainly by a 49er fan. We're not having that. And then they've even moved to Santa Clara. So come on. Yeah.
Look, I'm telling you, Raiders fans are crazy, man. They're completely out of their minds. I have friends that are Raiders fans, and they're pretty crazy too, and they'll let you know. They see me in my green, they be trying to talk they mess, and I say, well, you guys haven't done anything else, anything crazy credible in a while as well. So pipe down, what I'm saying? We're changing and we're turning the corner, and that's where I want to get with you as well. I want to get away from the fan club talk with you for a little bit, and I want to talk to you just a little bit about the team. And so my final question for you here is, man, what are your thoughts about Zack Wilson? Was this the guy that you wanted to be a New York Jets quarterback? How'd you feel about us taking him in the draft?
Well, there's a guy in our group who we've been fighting since the draft, because I was a Darnold aficionado. I felt bad for the dude. I think he had talent. I think he got a raw deal, and I always root for the underdog. And so, I think he, given what we could have done, could have been kind of put a little cherry on top. But I also got to say, I'm warming up to Zach. I'm warming up to, I understand the mathematics. It's about the contract. It's about starting all over. There's a lot of pluses, and I think he can do some things, it seems like, that are pretty unique. So, Darnold had some stuff too, but you still have a wild card there. You don't know if he can shake off, the horror of the last 3 years. So yeah. I get it. They had to make that move, so I had to, it's done, so I got to just let it go. But I'm really hoping that that Zach is the dude who we think he is, which is basically Aaron Rodgers. That's what they're saying he is. So I want to see that. Doesn't have to become that right away, but I want to see a nice, trajectory, not any stupid picks, and I want to see that arm strength and mobility. I'm a little scared though, because he looks a little small to me. I don't know if he can take a licking. The NFL. But we got that big line now, so maybe he doesn't have to get hit. How about that?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Listen, Mateen, it's been phenomenal to speak with you. Again, I want to thank you, for coming on and sharing everything, about your fandom with this football team and your love and everything that you folks do with the fan club out there in San Francisco. Before I let you go, man, can you please let all the listeners know where they can, get in touch with everyone in the San Francisco Jets fan club and where you folks meet?
Okay, again, we all meet at the Rec Room on California in San Fran. And the Facebook page, let me give you the address, actually. It's 1390 California Street, 94109. And the Facebook page is to jump on. People are, it's the Jets, so it's rowdy, but, nobody is going to jump through the screen and bite you. So, we welcome, if you wear green, we welcome you.
Yeah.
New York Jets fans in San Francisco on Facebook. So come on out and give us a ping.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, Mateen, I want to again thank you for coming on. You have yourself a good night, my friend.
Absolutely, man. JETS, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, salutes. I want to thank Mateen for coming on tonight and spreading his love for the New York Jets on the show, man. Salute. Yeah. And again, everyone, please, if you're in the San Francisco area and you are looking for a Jets fan club to get involved with, those guys in SF, if you just go on Facebook, search, San Francisco Jets fan club, those guys are doing a lot. I mean, they really connect and get involved with each other. And they, like he said, and I've met a bunch of them, whether, be whatever spot we're going to watch games, and we just have a lot of fun, and they have a lot of fun up there and do a lot of great things. So again, I want to thank Mateen for coming on tonight and talking to us about what they're doing up there in SF with the fan club. So now we're going to change things over, you know what I'm saying? Because now we got to talk about training camp. Now we got a lot of things to discuss and cover. Again, 515-602-9639, 515-602-9639. Call in. The lines are open. So listen, first off, salute to my guy 808s and crab cakes. Salutes. Because he came with the big donation. Big donation. 808s and crab cake says, training camp is finally here. NFL is so close. Can't wait for our week 2 matchup. Man, listen, I think week 2 we're taking if he's talking about during the season, I think week 2 is the New England Patriots. Yeah, we're going to see what happens there. That's going to be crazy. The week 1 matchup with the Carolina Panthers, let me tell you something. If you don't think people are going to be talking about Sam Darnold and, depending on how well or bad he does against us, that's going to be a crazy matchup. And there's just so much to cover. But again, I want to thank 808s and Crab Cake for the donation. Salutes to him. So, listen, we're going to get into it. I'm going to discuss this, man. Zack Wilson at this point, unless he signs this second, he is unsigned. Okay, he is not signed. He is not in a facility. He is the only Jets player that did not report to training camp. Now, listen here. All right, we talked about this constantly coming into, training camp. We talked about this the last couple of weeks. Well, when is Zach going to sign? What is going on here? When are we going to see that deal inked? And everybody was just like, oh, don't worry. It'll get done. We had confidence. Everybody was excited, but, they were just saying, hey, we'll see how things happen. There were some Jets fans that were upset that the deal didn't get done a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And they were saying, hey, listen, if this lingers on, I fear that he will not sign before training camp and we'll be stuck. We'll be in a situation where we're looking around going, okay, well, what's going to happen now? Well, lo and behold, he has not signed. Here's the problem. The New York Jets, Joe Douglas, Zack Wilson, they have 3 months to figure this out. 3 months. They've had more than enough time to figure out, what's going on here. And now, according to reports, the issues with the contract and why it's not being signed are coming because of deferred payments and offset language. Listen, we have gone to a system in the NFL so that these issues, the contract negotiations and drafting players and trying to figure out what to pay them, the reason why they went to the system is so that those issues would be alleviated, okay? This is not the 1980 NFL draft where you got players coming in that want $100 million and you got to figure out whether you're going to give. No, they're all slotted to make a certain amount. It is extremely important that this kid gets in the camp. And I'm looking at Joe Douglas and I'm saying to myself, listen, you're a great general manager. You've done some very solid things. I know that there's some Jets fans that may not feel that way, but I do. I feel like he's a very solid general manager. Whatever it is, dude, can you guys just meet in the middle and get this kid into camp? Can we get going? You look at all the momentum that the New York Jets have going for themselves right now. Carl Lawson looks phenomenal. I know you guys have seen him. This dude is jacked. He's ready to go. He's talking, hey, I want to get a sack every single rush. He's looking like he's going. This is a big-time free agent that we brought in the building. We're all excited about. He's ready to go. CJ Mosley is back out there. We saw him report as well. Wow. You know what I'm saying? You look at him, he's like 230. I think he said this is like the leanest he's been. He looks like he's going to be coming out there. He's ready to prove people wrong. He's got a chip on his shoulder. All the rest of these guys, Mekhi Becton looks like he's slimmed down. He's ready to go. He was already in solid shape. And out again to really put his next foot forward and take the next step as an offensive lineman to have that Pro Bowl year, right? Or have that All-Pro year that we all believe that he should get and have that Pro Bowl year that he got robbed out of last season. He's ready to go. All this stuff going on. The atmosphere is electric around this football team, and we can't get our damn quarterback in the building. Come on, man. Come on, man. You gotta get this deal done. You got to. I do not want to see this continue to linger on and have this kid miss day after day after day of camp. And I know some people are going, well, why, Joe? Why do you care? If he misses a couple of days camp, we'll figure it out. We'll get it done, whatever. Listen, we all know that, the NFLPA and the NFL, the way that camps and practices are structured now are completely different than they have been in the past. The amount of time that coaches and players can spend with each other is different now, okay? not just because of the new negotiation that was worked out, in the past. It's also because now protocols have come out because we all know what's going on in the world right now. YouTube be tripping, okay? We all know why we're, wearing certain things on our faces to protect ourselves, okay? And using hand sanitizer, right? Okay, wash your hands. YouTube be tripping if you get what I'm saying here, all right? We all know why that's going on. There have been protocols that have come out about that as well. So that limits time as well that you can spend out there on the field, building chemistry with your wide receivers, building chemistry with your tight ends, building chemistry along your offensive line, all these things, okay? All that time is now limited on top of the fact that this kid is a rookie, okay? And they need to come in and learn the speed of the game and figure out all of those things on top of the fact that he's learning a brand new offense, as everyone is here, right? So you need to be there to understand the nuances, every nook and cranny of every call you need to be able to understand. And the more time that he misses out there, the more time that he's going to be away, the less time that he's going to have to get things. I am hoping that this gets worked out and does not continue to drag on throughout camp. Because if it continues to drag on, again, the less time, right? That means the more time he's going to be working into the season trying to figure things out. And we cannot have that. We can't have that. All right? So I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what's going on here. Okay? Whatever offset language or whatever's going on, just figure it out and sign this kid. Meet in the middle somewhere, do whatever you got to do, but do not let this linger on into camp and have this kid continue to miss time. And if it's from Zack Wilson's side, listen, Zack Wilson, we've seen it in the past where some young players will turn around and go, listen, agent, I understand you got a job you need to do, but I'm a player and I got a job I need to do as well. Okay, so guess what? I'm going to pass on what you're talking about, and I'm going to, we're going to figure it out, sign the contract, do whatever you got to do, sign the contract, because I'm ready to go and play. We've seen young players tell their agents that before. That may be something that Zack Wilson needs to look into. But again, we've got to get this figured out. We cannot allow this to continue to linger and go on and have this kid miss time, more time and more time and more time. We cannot have that. So that was my spiel with Zack Wilson. Again, moving on to other things, brighter things. I think it's also extremely important that we come out of this camp healthy. It's extremely important, man. Extremely important that we find some way to keep ourselves out of a situation where we end up with a big injury to a player or, we have guys missing time going into the season. We must stay away from that. Okay, I'm just hoping that we all come out healthy. We all got things going on. All right. And we're all excited about this football team. Let's make sure that we get out of this training camp healthy and get, into the season and really wreck shop like we all hope that, the New York Jets can. So, again, 515-602-9639, 515-602-9639. Call in. The lines are open. When you call into my show, please be patient. We're going to get to everybody. Do not call into my show cursing, all right? Because I'll get you out of here fast. I'm talking faster than we got Adam Gaze out of here. Get your ass out of here, Gaze. Oh, God, man. Y'all can't tell you how happy I am that guy is not the head coach of the New York Jets any longer. I am so glad that we have Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas in the building and the Jets are headed in a different direction. All right, so we're going to get to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number to the show. Call in. Also, salute to the Savages in the chat. I call my chat the Savages. Why? Because they are savage, all right? Listen. Savage. Man. Listen, they are savages. They will get after you, okay? If they don't like your take, even, again, nobody's safe out here. Not even me. Not even me. If they don't like your take, they're going to let you know about it, my friend, and they will let you have it, all right? So Salutes to all the savages in the chat. I will come to you. Also, as well, if you'd like to donate, please hit the super chat if you can. Whatever you give is greatly appreciated. If you don't want to hit the super chat, my Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. You can donate through that as well, because I know some people that be like, Joe, I don't want to deal with the super chat. Just wish your Cash App is down there, man. So again, anything that you give to the show is greatly appreciated. And again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. All right. We're about to get to these lines, man, because, man, I got a lot to talk about tonight. This situation is frustrating with Zack Wilson. So, first guy I'm going to go to, I think this is my guy, Steve, man. I'm going to go to Steve. Steve comes on. He knows his Jet stuff. He's going to talk his talk. Steve, listen, man, I want to thank you for calling in tonight, my friend. How are you feeling tonight?
Feeling great, Joe. How are you?
I'm feeling all right, man. I'm feeling all right. You know, I'm just trying to deal with the situation.
Joe, I understand.
Okay.
Hey, Joe, I understand how you were so happy when we got Adam Gase out of here faster than he could in coaching offense. Okay.
Yeah. I got him out of here. That guy was terrible.
So anyway, so the thing is, I wanted to just get to the Zack Wilson thing. Really quickly. Now, listen, I am a little bit bummed out that Zack Wilson hasn't signed his contract. Listen, I was hoping that it would get done before training camp, but I kind of had the feeling that it wasn't going to happen. Because, I mean, this was the same situation we were in a few years ago when Darnold didn't sign his contract right away, too.
Man.
The thing is, though, I'm not really too worried about it. The thing is that, listen, I understand that Zach isn't going to get the time. He's probably not going to make it to the first practice tomorrow. It's probably not going to happen. But the thing is that when I look at this situation, you know, listen, there's obviously something that's going on. But the thing is, like, the Jet fans should not panic at all. Listen, he is going to sign his contract eventually.
Okay.
He's going to sign his contract eventually. Listen. Jet fans should not panic at all, okay? I understand it's frustrating that he hasn't.
Hold on a second, Steve.
It is frustrating
hold on a second,
though,
Steve.
Yet.
Hold on a second, Steve. And listen, I hear you. And I'm kind of there. I'm not saying that Jets fans should be going crazy. I'm not saying panicking. But you got to see that, hey, listen, we understand he'll sign it at some time, but what if he misses, let's say, 2-3 weeks of camp? Then what? Because I'm not saying
I would start to get worried.
Yeah, but I mean, we should be worried now because again, with the amount of time, with the little amount of time, that players have now to really go out there on the field, work together on the field, right, and build that chemistry, it's lacking now. A lot of people are going into the season. Look, they're cutting games. They cut preseason games. So now you're going in there and you're trying to figure things out during the season. That's tough for really good, like, veteran quarterbacks, veteran guys that are in the league. It's tough for them to do that. So if it's tough for them to do that, you got a rookie quarterback that we took high in the draft that people have enormous expectations upon, right? Because everyone was saying, hey, we drafted this guy to be the savior of Sam Darnold. That's what he was anointed, right? When we couldn't get Trevor Lawrence, people were like, who cares? Zack Wilson's better than Trevor Lawrence. And I have that on tape because people said it on my show. All right? So all these things coming in now, and now we're saying, okay, well, he has not signed yet. How much time is he going to miss? Because all the people that were saying, hey, everything's going to be good. Don't worry, he'll sign before camp. I have sources that are saying he's going to sign tomorrow. Those people are quiet now. Because he still is not signed. So if he continues to miss time, that could absolutely affect us because it'll affect him understanding the offense. It'll affect his chemistry with our offense. It'll affect his chemistry with our wide receivers. What are your thoughts about that, Steve? What are you going to do if he misses more time? How much time before you start to get nervous?
If he doesn't sign within another week or two, then I would start to get worried.
Okay.
I mean, the one thing is, one thing that I did today was when I got home from work today, I listened to Robert Saleh's conference today. He had a really, really good conference, and, he's bringing excitement back to the Jets thing. And the thing is, he wants Zack Wilson to get signed really soon as well. Joe Douglas has been working on it, the last couple of days. But this is the thing, though. But the thing is, though, is that Joe Douglas, I do agree, he should have gotten it done earlier. It's just that, and it's not only him, but it's also the guy who San Francisco drafted. Trey Lance is another one that hasn't even signed his deal yet. But listen, the thing that was really, really exciting, though, because now I want to skip the whole thing now with Zack Wilson. The thing that really got me excited was the first thing I saw today was how so great Mekhi Becton looks.
Yeah,
he looks he lost a lot of weight during the time off during the summer, and I could tell. Shaq Lawson's got guns. Even C.J. Mosley looks great too. Yeah. All the players look phenomenal, and it's really, really exciting. But the thing is, something, Joe. The thing is, this is an exciting time though, because now that we're back, Jets training camp is here. Everything is all back. We're ready to go. The only thing that's just in the missing piece of the puzzle is, unfortunately, Zack Wilson, which hopefully things will get done ASAP. Maybe it'll hopefully get done later tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. we just got to hope it gets done soon.
Steve, I'm telling you, and again, I'm not panicking. I'm not going crazy. Salutes to all the savages. People are going off. Look, I'm not panicking. I'm not crazy. I'm not feeling crazy. I'm not going crazy. But I am, a little worried because, again, as long as this lingers, as long as this continues to go on, I'm saying to myself, okay, how much time is he going to miss? That's all I'm worried about. How much time are you going to miss? Also, how is this going to affect us going into the season? Because the things that you don't learn now, you're going to be learning in season. When you're having guys that are 240, 250, bigger than that are running at, unbelievable speeds trying to take your head off. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's, I'm worried, you know what I'm saying? I'm worried. And again, with the chemistry, all the expectations that we have on this offense with some of the players that we have here. And that's where I want to go with you next, Steve. Listen, I'm looking at this situation and I'm hearing from a lot of Jets fans that there's big time expectations on Denzel Mims. There's a lot of people putting pressure on him. They expecting him to take the next step this season. What are your thoughts on him going into camp, and where do you think he fits in on this offense? Do you think he ends up being our number 2, or are you siding with some other Jets fans that feel like maybe he might not, and maybe Keelan Cole will slide in and be our number 2 wide receiver?
Yeah, no, I hope that Mims does get the starting receiver position, and maybe as the number 2. Because, listen, as of right now, it's Corey Davis that's most likely going to be our number 1 guy. Yeah. Then I would see Mims at number 2. It's a battle between Mims and Cole for the second receiver spot. And then at the slot receiver, it's going to be a battle between Elijah Moore and Jamison Crowder. But the thing is, Joe, the thing that I care the most about is, and you brought this up earlier on the show, I want to make sure that all of our players are healthy, because that's the most important thing we need. Because then, unfortunately, the thing that does get worried me, when training camp officially starts is who's going to be healthy, who's not going to be healthy. Listen, we already don't have Quentin Williams for a couple of weeks because, remember, he did have the foot surgery a couple of months ago, and he still has to heal from that.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's like my biggest thing, because we just don't know who's gonna be there, and we just got to see. But the biggest question mark still remains and listen, the first open practice to the public is this Saturday coming up. And the thing is that Jets fans, I did see this today, that they would start to get a little bit worried about. If Zack Wilson still hasn't signed his deal yet by Saturday, then that would be something that would be really upsetting to Jets fans. They would be going back to training camp for the first time and not seeing Zack Wilson signed yet.
Man, Steve, I'm telling you, I'm a little concerned. If he doesn't sign by Saturday, this thing could really linger on, really. So my final question before I let you go, Steve, because you giving us your takes. I want to go to the defensive side of the ball with you, man. And I'm looking at this situation and I'm saying, hey, in your mind, what defensive player is in most danger of losing their starting position? What's a guy that you're looking at right now defensively and saying, I could see somebody taking your spot?
Oh, you know who I think? That's a good one. If I would have to say right now who I think would be the one who would be in the most danger right now of losing their spot, to be honest with you, I would have to go with what's his name, Blake Cashman. And the reason I say Blake Cashman is because, the couple of years he's been with us, he's never been healthy at all. And if he isn't healthy again, he could be on his way out the door.
Okay. Look, I respect that. Listen, Steve, you've had quite a call, man. Let me give you a hand, dude. Let's give Steve a hand. Yeah.
All right.
Let's give Steve a hand, man.
Joe, just remember, all gas, no break. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. You have a good night, all right, Steve?
Good night, man.
Listen, Steve calling in, he gave us his takes. He said, hey, don't panic, Jets fans. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Everything's good. We'll figure things out. I'm just saying, you look at this situation here. If this guy is not signed by Saturday, we could see things continue to slide on, all right? And if they do, boy, oh boy, is that going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a big problem. That's just more time sliding on down where this guy is not with the team. He's not building chemistry. He's not, out there, doing what he needs to do with our core, or our wide receiver core, or our offense, understanding calls, understanding the install of the brand new offense that we're all hoping. So we're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. Call in. We are taking all callers. Also, salutes to all the savages in the chat. Will be coming to you as well. They're going off in the chat right now. So many things to talk about. We're going to keep on. We're going to go back and forth with you folks. So keep giving your opinions as well. Asking questions. We will come to you. But next, I'm going to go to the lines. I'm coming to my guy, Jacob, man. Jacob, I'm coming directly to you. I know Jacob has some takes. Salutes, Jacob. I want to thank you for calling in tonight, man. Give me your thoughts about this situation with Zack Wilson. Are you upset that he has not signed yet?
Hey, how's it going, man? Yeah, I would say I'm a little bit upset because I was really optimistic that a deal would get done in the next couple of days since the last time I talked to you, which I believe it was on Friday. I think that's when you had your last show.
Yes, sir.
And I was really, really hoping a deal would get done, and unfortunately it didn't. And it's not a great start to training camp, obviously. Hopefully it'll get done in the next day or two. But I'm really not sure why the deal hasn't been done yet, to be honest, because I think if it's about the tiny little signing bonuses and stuff like that, I think you need to have confidence in your quarterback and give it to him, especially since we're not under tight, we're not under a tight salary cap at all. We've got the money to do it. I think it should have been done by now.
Yeah, I'm worried about it as well. I know a lot of it is the issues are offset language and payment deferments, all kind of things. And Joe Douglas, according to reports, is trying to set a new precedent here because he's the, new general manager. There's things that he wants to do differently, with young players and things like that. But listen, man, I understand the situation. I know that, Joe Douglas is a tough customer when it comes to negotiations. And sometimes that's a beautiful thing. But don't let that get in the way and cause us big time issues going down the pike and not have this kid in camp because you guys are, having this posturing match. You know what I'm saying? Let's figure out a way to somehow meet in the middle. That's my thing. Can we meet in the middle and get this kid into camp? Because if he's not in and he continues to miss time, man, that's not going to be too good for us. It's really not going to bode well. And that brings my next question for you, Jacob, is I know you said you're upset. You're not necessarily happy that hasn't been signed yet. How long before you really start to, panic or be concerned, extremely concerned? Is it a couple days? I mean, how long? And how long do you think that this will even last?
I don't think it's going to last more than a couple more days. And it brings me a little bit of comfort knowing that he's not, on the couch getting ready for the NBA draft, eating potato chips and ice cream and stuff. He's definitely out in California working on his stuff, because he posts about it on Instagram, about him on a football field, and he's working with his BYU quarterback coach, I believe.
Yeah.
So we know he's still working. But if it doesn't happen in the next few days, I'd really start to get concerned, because it's valuable, precious time. And the NFL season it's definitely not far away at all. It's a lot closer than we realize.
Yep.
So I'd love to see him here as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I want to go to the offensive side of the ball with you. Some of the players that's on there outside of Zack Wilson, Jacob, because you know your stuff, man. What offensive player in your mind is in danger of losing their starting spot, man? What guy are you looking at right now saying, there's a guy that, either young or a guy that we just brought in that, hey, could either take your spot right now. So you better be very careful during this training camp.
There's a few guys. I would say Chris Herndon is definitely in danger of losing his spot to either Kenny Yeboah or Tyler Croft. I would say Greg Van Roten is very likely to lose his spot either sometime during the season or after the season, if we want to plug Morgan Moses or George Fant in at right guard to get them both on the offensive line at the same time. And I would say probably Connor McGovern if this season is another letdown as well. I think those are three of the guys who are probably most in danger of losing it sometime in the next year. But if we're talking just right now in training camp, I would say definitely Chris Herndon.
Yeah, I see that. Now, listen, I look at this tight end situation, and I've made my thoughts very well known about Herndon. He's had issues. A lot of people are still trying to hang their hats on, well, he flashed before and all these other things. And I say to myself, listen, he's got to show it, and he's got to show up because, like you said as well, Kenny Yeboah, a young guy that the Jets had a 4th-round grade on, is on his heels. I look at the situation, I say even a guy like Ryan Griffin, who we've seen outperform Herndon in the past, is on his heels. We saw Griffin take over that tight end position and, be solid. Not a world leader, not be Travis Kelce or nothing crazy, but be a solid set of reliable hands in an offense with Gaze that we all said was terrible. He was all right. He wasn't a guy that was, down. And again, we brought in Tyler Croft as well. So there's a lot of competition. Wesco, I think, could be in the mix, but he's more of a special teams kind of blocking guy, but he has a position. So, yeah, I could see that, man. If Chris Herndon does not put it together, I could see him either, being gone, or definitely not having a starting role here. So when you look at this offense, though, man, what are your thoughts about Denzel Mims? Because there's a lot of pressure coming from fans. They're thrusting pressure upon him because they have big expectations for him going into this season. Do you have those same expectations for him?
I definitely have high expectations for him because I'm really just right when we picked him, when I was watching that TV on that day 2 of the draft, I was so ecstatic to get him on this team. And I knew that right away that he was going to be a guy who's meant for throwing the ball downfield or being a great red zone threat since I think he's 6'3". And obviously we really haven't had a tremendous red zone threat since Brandon Marshall back in 2015. And we saw what happened when we had that awesome red zone threat. I mean, to this day, I can't live down that game against the Bills in Week 17. But that team altogether, along with having that great red zone threat, really, really made a difference. And we've seen he's definitely shown flashes of when they throw the ball up to him on one-on-one coverage, he usually tends to come down with that ball if it's a good throw.
Yep.
So I definitely like to see some more from him. But I think part of the reason he didn't have as great as a season as we wanted him to was also just because of the system he was under, and the coach has no idea where he is or what's going on. He can't get his eyes to shut it all, you know what I mean? So I think he's definitely going to be set up for a little bit more success this year. But I'm not expecting 1,000 yards or anything, but I'd just like to know that he's still got it going, and I'd like to see some more balls thrown down the field because that's what successful teams do. They take shots deep.
That's a fact. Listen, pay attention. Jacob just took a shot at Adam Gase. Pay attention, guys.
No.
Oh, man. Oh, Jacob said he can't get his eyes to close. You know, that's just a little shot for those of you that didn't catch that. I caught it as hilarious. Listen, Jacob, this has been fire.
Hey.
My last question for you before I let you go, man. You know, Jacob just throwing shots out before he takes off. My last question before I let you go is, when you look at this situation on defense, right, there's a lot of position battles to be had there. A lot of people look at our cornerback position and they go, I've had some fans already talking to me saying Isaiah Dunn can be a starter as an undrafted free agent. Do you believe that that's possible?
To be honest, I don't know too much about him yet. I usually know a lot about our players, but he's one of the guys that I haven't heard too much about.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's definitely a possibility if he works hard enough. I think any of these guys have potential to be starters because there's really nothing to lose this year, at least, by having them start out. And if things don't turn out well, then we can make mid-season adjustments. But I think we're obviously not a championship team yet. So if he proves that he's worthy of being a starter and he outputs the rest of the guys during the training camp and preseason, then so be it. And I think we just got to put out the guys who have performed the best. And I think if he's one of them, then that's great.
Yeah. You know, I look at our cornerback situation, and there's a lot of battles, like we were talking about earlier as well. That's definitely a battle to be there. I could see him making his bones because, again, Bless Austin does not, bold a lot of confidence in a lot of people. And, we're still trying to figure out where Bryce Hall is. And after that, there's a lot of question marks. So I could see him shaking his way up. Again, he's being paid big. There's got to be a reason for that. Joe Douglas just doesn't hand out cash. I think he's the highest paid undrafted corner ever. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how things shake out. But listen, Jacob, I want to thank you for calling in to that, my friend. The lines are hot. They're heating up. Listen, you have yourself a good night, all right?
Hey, you too. And just remember that Jair Alexander, as I always say, he's always there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear you, Jacob. You have a good night, my friend. Listen, Jacob calling in with the fire. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. Call in. We're talking to everyone. We're speaking tonight. We're talking about Zack Wilson. We're talking about the Jets training camp. We're talking about a lot of things, man. We got to get Wilson signed, and we'll see what happens. But so I'm going to keep getting to these lines. Again, if you want to donate, the super chat's up there. Please give if you can. Whatever you donate is greatly appreciated. Also down there as well as my Cash App. For those of you that don't want to hit my super chat, my Cash App is there. So, if you don't, want to deal with the super chat, the Cash App, go ahead and, throw a couple dollars in there if you can. It is all greatly appreciated. Also, for those of you who are watching, please give the stream a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and turn on your notifications as well. So we're going to get to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. Call in. We're going to keep getting to these lines. I'm going to my guy, North Carolina, man. This is my guy from North Carolina, and he knows his Jets. Listen, my friend, it's been a little bit of time since we talked to you. How are you feeling tonight, my friend? Thank you for calling in. You already know where I'm going. Give me your thoughts about this situation with Zack Wilson, bro.
I love this kid as a prospect. I think he's fantastic, but I'm hoping within a few days, hopefully Joe Douglas can get this thing done. I got to believe he's going to get it done in a timely manner based on how he's run things since ownership has turned it over to him. And even prior to that, when there were question marks about who was in charge, and then the other guys were, they're not gay. So
yeah,
I think we just have to be a little patient. And I hope within the week he gets it done. Let's say another 7 days he isn't done, then I'd be a little worried. And then starting to get late and, try to get his contract done so that would join his teammates and get his proper workout time in and get to work with them and get that timing down,
Yeah, absolutely.
He's still working with a new group. I know Elijah Moore was one of his favorites, and he's got to still get that work in just to maintain the rhythm and the continuity and work with the new people that he's working with. So I just got to believe he can get it done. I'm very excited about this season. I think we got a chance to get back to respectability, which I think is a big thing for us. And then, we'll be in a prime position with the resources we have next year to be even better.
Yeah, I'm looking at the situation, even going back to what you were talking about with Zack Wilson. I'm hoping that we get it done soon. I don't want this to continue to linger on and go out there because, like we all know, these players, their time with each other, their time to build chemistry out on the field it's limited. Especially now with everything that we have going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see it done. I don't want to see this linger into too long, especially if he continues to miss time during the camp. And like you said, this is going to be a big year because this is the year we have talent. We're excited about it, and it's a lot of young talent as well. So we're trying to figure things out. And even when you look at the improvements that we made along the offense, a lot of the excitement for us is our wide receiver core, which is huge. And that's where I want to go with you next, is when you look at the situation with the wide receiver core, what player in this wide receiver core do you feel like has the most pressure on them going into this season or even going into training camp?
Oh, yeah, even if you consider him, I guess the way the tight end position has changed. Technically, at one time they weren't even considered receivers, but nowadays it's changed with Gonzalez and them coming in. To me, it's the Chris Herndon. Cats like Chris Herndon have to step up and contribute. He's got too much raw talent and ability to play the way he has played last year. Last year was a major letdown.
Yeah,
I can understand kind of with the climb around the team as everything was down. Donald was down. Everybody was adversely affected by having Gates there, just the way he ran things. You can feel it. Hopefully Herndon will pick his game up. He better, because Robert Sal and them, they're not, window dressing like Rex and them. I know I love and respected Rex, but these coaches now are serious about competition. They're serious about guys stepping their game up and demonstrate that they're fit for a starting position. Otherwise, I fear that he may get cut.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that. And we've talked about him constantly on this show. We've talked about Chris Herndon and him needing to step up, and especially with some of the competition that's been brought in, like you were alluding to as well. Listen, Tyler Kroft, he's on the roster. You look at guys like Ryan Griffin, who's taken over the spot before and been a starting tight end before. He was solid, wasn't necessarily, a world beater, but he was a reliable set of hands. And then you look at a guy like Kenny Yeboah, who's a young guy that they've brought in, that they had a high grade on, who just became undrafted, and they were able to bring him into the building. So if Herndon doesn't get it together, especially in training camp, you keep on being old Butterfingers Chris Herndon, then you're going to be gone. And we're going to put you on the shelf like they do. We're going to put you on the shelf like they do, like they put Butterfingers on the shelf.
Stop putting that ball on the ground.
Yeah.
So he's really regressed.
Yeah.
Particularly last year, he noticeably regressed from where he was the first year. Everybody was so excited about his potential. Well, that's the missing piece for us. If we can get a tight end that can actually threaten that second level, the linebackers, to where the matchup with them would be tough, this offense could be really, really good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're one tight end away, in my opinion, a tight end and a right guard away from being really good.
Yeah.
Really good, potentially offensive.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think our wide receiver core is pretty solid. So when I look at that, I see, guys like Davis and Moore, and we'll see what Elijah Moore brings to the table. But I'm excited about Mims. I think he takes a step forward. So I'm pretty set with our wide receiver core. I love Jamison Crowder. But if we can get a solid tight end, because again, like you just talked about, we have weapons. We have so many weapons, and that's why I was talking about the core. We have so many weapons that our tight end, dude, if he's decent, if he's solid, he's going to be a matchup nightmare because you can't cover everybody. You just can't. You put him out there with a set, guess what? Either they're going to, I think you look at Davis, they're going to have to respect him, right? So he's probably going to draw the double team most of the time. You look at Mims, he's going to have his pick of the litter out there. Even if you go 3 wide, you put Elijah Moore out there, you put somebody else out there, and you got Herndon. If he steps up this season, or Yeboah, right? Say you got Yeboah out there, he's got a bunch of ability. If he steps up this season, our tight end position is going to have the pick of the litter. He's just going to be able to run out there and do his thing. As long as he can make catches, you know what I'm saying, and win his matchups, which he should be able to. A lot of these slew-footed linebackers, then he's going to have his chances. He's going to have his shots. He could end up being a relief valve. End up being a relief valve for our young quarterback.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think what's going to wind up happening is once the season begins, I can see Elijah Moore being a key piece of this offense, and I can see him all over the formation, motioning out of the backfield, and he'll at times be used as a decoy.
Yep.
Where the defense, will focus on him, and then, the Jets will do their misdirection. But they said the system they're running is based on deception.
Yep.
Running, play action, fakes. Zack Wilson's brilliant. He's good at that kind of thing. He's a magician.
Yeah.
If you ever seen his BYU video, which I have, and I got
really stuck with this kid. I think he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He just needs time to grow, literally get bigger and stronger, and just get a little bit more refinement on the NFL level.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a chance to be really good. I think our receiving core group is a solid group. I would say it's a B.
Yeah,
it's a B. It could be an A if Mims develops into what I think Mims can be. If he get his proper reps and playing time to really show what he can do, then this receiving core could be an A.
Yeah,
it could be pushed to an A.
Yeah, I think he's a guy that a lot of people, a lot of Jets fans are talking about. There's a lot of pressure on him. He was one of the guys that I forgot who said it, but it was a member of the media talking about he was one of the guys that he looked at and said, hey, this is a guy that I'm picking to have a breakout season this upcoming season. And again, because of all the things that we're talking about, the new additions to our wide receiver core, how many things, guys that we brought in, from Corey Davis, having Jamison Crowder still there, bringing in Elijah Moore, even Keelan Cole,
that's right.
Mims is definitely going to have his favorable matchups, and he's got to win them. And we've seen these flashes before, even in Gaze's offense where he was piss poorly used. We saw him be able to come down with footballs that nobody thought he was going to catch. Nobody. There was so many,
we got a sample size. It's a shame.
Yeah.
We only got a sample size from last year. We love what we saw. We love the explosiveness, the ability to high point the football, which is what we want.
Yep.
Because my history as a Jet fan, I remember the wide receivers we did have that were big. Al Toon back in the day, Rob Moore, Keyshawn Johnson. When you have a big wideout, he makes it so much easier. Where a quarterback doesn't have to be so fine on every throw.
Absolutely.
Like he is the smaller wideouts. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. So now my final question before I let you go, man, because your Jets and you know what you're talking about. When you look at our corner situation, man, what player do you feel like in that position group is in danger of losing their spot, man?
You talking about at cornerback?
Yeah, at cornerback, man.
Right now, the way it looks, it's kind of murky, the quarterback position, except Bryce Hall. The rest of it is pretty much an unknown. Right now, it's a really tough call as far as who's going to come out of the pack, except Bryce Hall. I imagine the team and Joe Douglas have done their diligence and film study on Bryce Hall. He's the real deal. He's solid.
Yeah.
He can only get better under the new system and improve pass rush. The rest of the group, it's a tough call. It looks so murky.
Yeah.
So many unknowns. With the cornerback position and with the linebacking core, it looks very murky, except C.J. Mosley. Things just look so cloudy. It's a tough call, and it's so early,
Yeah, it is. That cornerback situation has got a lot of question marks. I look at Bless Austin, though, and I'm saying to myself, buddy, your spot's not guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Your spot is not guaranteed. You just talked about Bryce Hall. We've been talking about him all offseason. Some people say, hey, they could see him taking over that number one position. So, yeah, I hear you there. And especially when you talk about that linebacker position, too, C.J. Mosley, he's showing up to camp. He's in unbelievable shape. I think this is just going to be the year where he quiets a lot of those fans, that don't believe in him or say that he was overpaid. I think that this is the year he's going to quiet them, man.
I think the thing about Mosley, mentally, he's still there. The only question about him was physically where he is. I think he's had a chance to rest his legs, fresh legs, and get his legs up under him. And I imagine he's done some of his own private workouts. Obviously, that's not the same thing as the football, the team-related activity. They push you hard.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably going to be in really good shape. And I think by this point, reporting in camp on time with the rest of the team, he's probably in excellent shape or pretty close to it.
Yeah.
We know C.J. Mosley is a tremendous football player. We just got a look, once again, a sample size of him against the Buffalo Bills. He showed us flashes of what he's capable of, and he's a real monster. He's literally all over the field.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. If we can get him restored, get him back anywhere near what we saw against the Buffalo Bills, and with our front seven, with our defensive line, we could be really tough defensively.
Yeah.
Really tough.
We absolutely could. Listen, my friend, you've had quite a call, man. Let's give this guy a hand, man. Give him a hand. Yeah. We're going to give you a hand, man. Listen, I got to get back to these lines, my friend. It's always great speaking to you. I want to thank you for calling in. Look, next time I'm on the show, I want to hear from you, man.
You know, our time has been bad when we working at the airport, but with me off Mondays and Tuesdays, hopefully you'll do your weekly shows to start the week, and I'll get the chance to call in and hit you up. We'll talk again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, my friend. You have yourself a good night.
And you take care too, buddy.
All right. Listen, that's my guy from North Carolina, all right? He knows his Jets. He's a longtime Jets fan, and he talks that talk, all right? We're going to keep getting these lines. They're hot. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. Call in. We are taking all callers. You know what I'm saying? Salutes to everybody watching. Please give the stream a thumbs up if you haven't already. Also, please subscribe if you're not subscribed and turn on your notifications so when we post content, you folks will be in the know. Again, you can donate through Super Chat, or you can also give as well through Cash App. Whatever you donate is greatly appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Again, I want to thank everyone that's donated tonight. Salutes to 808s. You know, solid guy, man. Thank you so much for giving to the channel. So we're going to continue to go to the lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. Call in. We're taking all callers. So I'm going to my guy, Chris, next. Angelo, we're coming to you in a little bit, but I'm going to my guy, Chris. Chris, I know he's got quite a bit to say about this football team. Chris, listen, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Give me your thoughts about this situation with Zack Wilson. How are you feeling about this contract situation? Are you upset that he has not signed yet?
It's crazy. What we say? Things remain the same, but the names change, but things remain the same. Old Jets.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Are we like? I mean, that's I don't understand. It's like divorcing your wife, right? Getting a new wife and not showing up for the wedding. It's just like, what are we? I don't understand. Most of these contracts are guaranteed. The slots, everything is guaranteed. What are we? We had 6 months, or we had so much time to get this thing. Why are we fighting over pennies?
Yeah.
And where's the owner in this matter? Where is he? Where is he in this thing? I mean, it's embarrassing enough. Like, to walk around with a Jets jersey and actually talk to people about football, and they say, you can't even get your quarterback signed. Yeah. What is this, man? It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's tough. Nuts. Yeah, it's tough. We'll see what happens going forward. I'm hoping that he doesn't miss a lot of time. That's the thing I'm concerned about, because we talked about it before. Before this week was coming, we've had shows where I've talked, hey, listen, we got to make sure this deal gets done. I don't want it to linger. Don't want it to go into camp. He misses time. Then what happens? I'm hoping that he signs, hopefully tomorrow, gets in there and gets going. But if this lingers for too long, man, it's going to be some issues. But I want to talk to you about the offensive side of this ball. Some of the other players that we have on offense, some of the position battles. Dude, there's a lot of pressure on Denzel Mims from some of the fan base. They're saying, hey, this guy this year really needs to step up. We're really looking to see what he has. He's got to be a guy that's be an impact player this year. Do you feel the same? And what do you think Denzel's going to be able to do out there within this offense?
That's a good question. I mean, we have the worst coach in history, so we don't know who he is at this point. There's a lot of question marks on guys on this team and their abilities. So I don't think people should give their saying, hey, he's got to show up this year. I mean, look who we had as coaching this team last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the guy's a high school football coach right now. I mean, we're starting from 0-1 an evaluation on everybody. Please, give the Gates excuse. Please give him that, Let's see what Denzel Mims is. He's a good player. He's been a good player in Baylor. He has talent. He has all the measurables. But let's see what he could do, man, without the offensive genius around.
Yeah. I'm hoping that I'm hoping to see Denzel Mims really take a step forward in the offensive system this year. Like you said as well, with Gaze, it was just, I don't know, just throwing stuff at a wall. The play calling was horrific. It was terrible, man. I mean, that guy was just a car wreck. I mean, man, it was terrible watching him.
Has anybody ever go from the NFL to high school?
Oh man, it was terrible. It's just terrible, man. He was terrible. I wouldn't let him coach my high school team. He wouldn't even have to coach my pee-wee team. I wouldn't let him coach anything. The closest I'd let him come to a football team is just deliver the water. I wouldn't even let him do that. The closest he'd be able to come to a football team that I was involved in is sitting in the stands, dude. That's what you got. We'll let you film the game. How about that? That's it, man. I'm not letting you nowhere near my team, dude. I don't even want you to deliver in the water because you might do that wrong. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't draw up a play. You're probably not going to be able to get the water to the right players. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't get the ball to the right players. You're not going to be able to get the water to the right players. So, yeah, but Denzel Mims, I'm really looking to see what he brings this season. I know that there's fans that are really on top of him, really looking to see what he's gonna do. But I understand the pressure because the talent's there and the flashers are there, but we just got to see things be put together. But I think if utilized correctly within the offensive scheme this year, he's going to really, really show up because, again, we saw so many great things from him. His ability, his wingspan, the ability to catch the ball, his catching radius is phenomenal. This guy knows what he's doing out there. So I'm excited. And, again, with all the other additions that he made as well offensively, I think it's definitely going to benefit him and help him. Now, I want to go to the defensive side of the ball with you, man, because there's a lot of questions there, too. When you look at this situation, man, C.J. Mosley showing up to camp, he looks like he's in unbelievable shape. I think he's like 230 or 231 or something. He looks lean. He looks ready to go. He's definitely going to be moving around in this new 4-3 defense. He says, hey, it fits what he does well. He's going to be flying around. Do you think that this is the year he's going to quiet all of those fans that were knocking him, man? Do you think that this is the year where he puts them on silent mode, man? Talk to us about it.
Just like if you look at guys like Brian Urlacher, you look at guys like what's the middle linebacker that retired on the Carolina Panthers? I forget his name.
Kuechly, Luke Kuechly.
Great linebacker.
I think you're talking about Luke Kuechly.
This guy's in that mode. Yeah. This guy's in that mode. He's just as good as any of those guys. You're going to see him, have a big year. He's Darrelle Revis of the middle linebacker. He's a great linebacker. He's a Hall of Famer. You're going to see it this year. CJ, that's one guy you don't have to worry about.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Yeah, my final question for you before I let you go, man, is there's a lot of people that are extremely excited about a player that has requested a trade. A lot of Jets fans talking about Chandler Jones right now, man. Do you think the New York Jets should be interested in making a move for him? And if so, what is the most that you would give up for Chandler?
Chandler Jones. That's an interesting question because you can never have enough pass rushers, and I was on the thing of taking him over the guy we took. What was his name? I forget the guy's name.
You talking about Carl Lawson?
Quentin Copus.
Oh, Quentin Copus. Okay.
I wanted to take him over Quentin Copus.
Oh,
yeah. So I think a second round pick, a second would be great because we're going to draft a pass rusher next year. So that would be for me. That's what I would give up. But let's see what the young guys can bring to the table in terms of the pass rush before we even go down the route of Chandler Jones. But anytime you can get a guy that you can book him in for 10 sacks a year, you got to take a look at it. But is Arizona going to be willing to trade him more than the first round? I would give up no first round. We can't give him no first round. Cannot. We're not in that position to get him. We still got to build the line. We still got cornerbacks. We still got other things to build to the team. Mm-hmm. But if they'll take a second and third, or second and a fifth, I make the deal. But that's as Arizona's going to do it.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth with a lot of Jets fans that have talked about him, and a lot of people are interested. I understand the allure of him. I get it. He's an all-pro guy, but for me, I just look at the age. He's 31. The capital that you'd have to give up. Pass rushers, especially guys that are all pros like him. You definitely aren't just gonna pry them away from their teams for a little bit. You definitely gonna have to pay out your nose, and also the money that you have to look to give him as well. Because I think he makes like $15.5 million this year. a lot of their issues are about contract and money. So coming in, he's definitely going to want to get paid again out the nose. Pass rushers like that usually get paid out the nose. And so you wonder, is he going to be able, would Joe Douglas be willing to give him the type of cash that he's looking for when you have so many other guys coming out this upcoming draft that can make an impact? And we all know that Joe Douglas is all about working the draft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice guy to have, but I mean, under the circumstances, I don't think we can afford it.
Yeah.
It's like making you want a Lamborghini. You can't. You like to have one, but you can't afford it.
Hey, listen, everybody, pay attention.
Like that Lamborghini, but it's a little bit $2 million on my price.
Pay attention. Chris is cheap. Pay attention.
Here we go.
Pay attention. Chris getting money out here. He the only one to call in and talk about Lamborghinis. So he can't afford a Lamborghini. Chris is getting money out here. Come on, guys. Come on, Chris. We know you getting to the bread. Stop it. Chris needs to stop it. Chris getting to the money. Listen, Chris, salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in tonight, my friend. You have yourself a good night, man.
All right, brother. Thank you. Go Jets.
Go Jets. That's what I'm talking about, man. That is what I am talking about, all right? Chris trying to call in and talk, you can't afford a land. Chris, we know you getting money, all right? We know you getting money. The rest of us don't even be talking about Lamborghinis on this show. You the only one that calls in. You're the first person to call into the show, talk about a Lamborghini. We know you getting money, all right? We all know you. We know you're doing well, okay? The rest of us, we're trying our best. You're out here doing well, all right? Salutes to Chris. It's always great to speak to him. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. The lines are open. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, things are constantly popping up. Marcus May, Foley Fadukasi, and Jonathan Marshall have been placed on the active roster for the Jets. As we all know, they were dealing with injuries, dealing with issues, not dealing with injuries. They were on the non-football injury list, and so they've been put on the active roster. So that's good to hear. Guys are going to continue on. Again, we talked about the PUP guys that we have on our injury list, coming into this training camp. So guys are going to continue to fill in and fall back into the season, fall back into the system, fall back into the roster, and we're going to see what the Jets have. I'm just hoping that, again, going into this training camp, that the guys that we have, once we come out of this training camp, are healthy. We need everybody to come out fully healthy, and we need to be ready to go, and we need our damn quarterback signed, okay? At some point, please make that happen, Joe Douglas. Please, can we sit down with Zack Wilson and his agent and figure this out, all right? And Zack Wilson, hey, if it's coming from your side, dude, listen. Tell your agent, knock it off, all right? Slow down. Can we meet in the middle and figure things out? So we're going to keep talking. Again, 515-602-9639, 515-602-9639. Call in. We're talking Jets. Next, I'm going to my guy, Angelo, man. This is my guy, Angelo. We're coming directly to him. He's going to give us some fire. Salutes, Angelo. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Give me your thoughts about this Zack Wilson situation, man. Are you upset that he has not signed his deal yet and he's not in camp?
Well, yeah, I'm upset, man. I mean, this is our future franchise quarterback. Now, I want everybody to understand what is going on. It's offset language.
Yeah.
So we all know Zack Wilson is going to get a guaranteed contract of 4 years, $35.1 million with a fifth-year option. So that's the structure, right? Like, that's the deal. Mm-hmm. So now what the Jets are trying to do, what is being negotiated, is the structure of the money, like how much is paid each year,
yep,
and then the insurance for the Jets. So what that means is if Zack Wilson is cut after 2 years, or whatever, released or whatever it is, the offset language protects the Jets, because let's say if Zack Wilson was owed $12 million for the next year, but then he signs, let's say, with the New Orleans Saints for $9 million. At that point, since the Jets had offset language in the contract, the Jets are only on the hook
for $3 million because New Orleans is going to be paying a new deal of $9 million. The Jets have now paid $3 million. So again, if there's no offset language, Zack Wilson will collect the $12 million from the Jets and then collect the new $9 million from the New Orleans Saints contract.
Yep.
So that's kind of what's being negotiated here, and that's what it is. So at some point, you look at it at both sides. Zack Wilson saying, well, look, Trevor Lawrence didn't have this in his deal.
Yeah.
Justin Fields didn't have this in his deal. So, I mean, his agent's probably like, dude, yeah, we're gonna stand firm. We don't want this offset language. First of all, like, you're not going to get cut. You're not going to get released. You're going to play. And I think at this point, if this is going to go on like this, he's already missed one practice, I think Joe Douglas has just got to man up and say, you know what, no offset language or whatever it is, because right now Joe Douglas is putting the doubt, like, oh, you know, if we release you after 2 years, you know, it's like, why are you even saying that? You know, if you had this much faith in the kid, why are you have an insurance policy if you're going to cut him after 2 years? I mean, I get it. It's business. Now, it's negotiations, but this is exactly what Sam Darnold was going on with his contract. And guess what? Sam Darnold got no offset language.
Yeah.
So I think Sam Darnold set out 3 practices.
Yeah.
So because of that, the Jets are like, all right, no offset language. So Zack Wilson's thinking, okay, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields don't have it. Sam Darnold a couple years ago sat out. They got no offset language. So, I mean, so it's just, I see it from both sides, man. I get it, Joe Douglas. You're the guru GM here. But I think you just need to let this one go. You're pissing off a lot of Jets fans.
Yes,
and, I know how agents are, man. I know how agents are. But guess what? Joe Douglas is the guy responsible for this. You know, it ain't the agent. It ain't Zack Wilson. This is Joe Douglas here. So I think Joe Douglas is going to say, okay, we'll give him a practice or two. If something doesn't get, he's in a cave. I think that's, I don't think he wants to, but this isn't going to go. I'll be surprised if it goes more than missing 3 practices. But that's kind of what is going on here. We all know he's getting 4 years, $35.1 million, $22 million signing bonus.
Yeah.
It's the structure of the amount of money and the insurance if he is no longer with the team during the full contract.
Yeah.
So what would you do? I mean, put yourself in Joe's shoes. I mean, would you just say, screw it and no offset language, or what would you do?
No offset language, because like you said as well, and we've been talking about this all night. I think that's eventually what happens, or he's not going to sign, and then we're going to be sitting here for, God knows how long, waiting for this kid to come into camp, and then guess what? You're affecting your football team. And he's, who knows? I hope he doesn't hold out during the season or just plays out that long. But where else do you go? Because you set yourself up because you don't have an adequate backup quarterback. We talked about that all off season. Who are you going to go to? James Morgan? Poop. Who else? White? Poop. Both of those guys are terrible. Well, actually, neither one of them have you seen really do anything, so they haven't even been out there. So what exactly are you going to get? It's like, listen, I understand.
So you understand?
I
understand Zack Wilson?
Yeah,
right?
No, I understand. I get it, and I understand the situation. But it's like, if this is on, and again, we talked about it tonight. I talked about the offset language and things. Look, I get it, and I said it earlier. Joe Douglas, phenomenal general manager. Dude, do whatever it takes to get this guy in the building, because he's slotted, like you said as well. He's slotted to make a certain amount of money. Okay, it's not like guys in the past. This is not 1984 or whatever, where you're arguing over 10, 20 million dollars. It's, hey, this is what he's gonna get. Just sign the deal and move forward. Because the more time that this kid misses, the more time that he's not out there in practice, the more time that he's not out there building chemistry with this wide receiver core, with this offense as a whole, hell, with this team, because he's the leader of this football team. And he's the face of the football team. He's the face of the franchise. The more time that he's not out there, the more issues that you're going to have, because all the things that he needs to know and learn, he's going to learn them on the fly during the season when guys are trying to chase him down and take his head off. And you don't want that.
And it's a confidence thing, too, knowing that General Manager Joe Douglas didn't put offset language like, yes, we are committing to you for 4 years, guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? That kind of like brings a sense of urgency of just like, yes, we want you. You're here.
Yeah.
We don't need that. You're going to be the quarterback for 4 or 5. You're going to be the quarterback for 10, 15 years.
Yep.
So that's kind of the other side that Joe Douglas might not be realizing. Like, hey, man, like, let it go. Listen, he's doing his job. Don't get me wrong. Joe is doing his job. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But I trust in him, and guess what? He's there for a reason. He's there to negotiate the best deal for the Jets.
Yeah.
But in this point, Joe, let it go, man. And you know what? And now this is going to linger on. And is this going to be like awkward in practice where Zach's going to be like, you know what I'm saying? Now he's going to come into the locker room and all the guys are like, oh, this guy held out. You know, it already starts that, you know, rumors and you know, we don't want that, man. It's already starting. You know, we don't need that. And Joe's got to be like, put the hammer down, dude, and just put the contract in front of him. No offset language. Give him the 4 years guaranteed. It's $10 million a year. I mean, come on, like, let's do it already.
Yeah, I mean, what did you you know, we were talking about earlier. If if you did not want to fully commit to this guy, would you take him for? Because Sam Darnold was here, and you decided to move on from him, and you drafted this guy. You chose him. You know, out of the guys you could have had, Justin Fields was on the board. There are other guys on the board as well, and you took this guy. So if you're not willing to fully commit to him, then what is he there for? So. Listen, I hear your takes there, and I want to go to the other players on this team too as well, because you're already bringing the fire very early. When you look at this offense, man, you look at this wide receiver core, there's been a guy, Denzel Mims, that has a lot of pressure on him, dude, from a lot of people in the fan base. What are your thoughts about him coming into the season, and do you think he'll be able to deliver and really step up within this offense?
I hope so, man. I hope so. Every time I call your show, I always bring this up, man. Chase Claypool, he was there. The Jets traded back. So I bring it up every time.
Every time.
So right now, Denzel Mims, he's got a bitter taste. It's a bitter taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Now, you know, a rookie season is a rookie season. We were kind of dysfunctional last year. So let's just chalk it up and just say that was like a practice season. He's got the tools. Don't get me wrong. Denzel Mims has got the tools. But I was wondering, like, okay, well, why, out of that, all the receivers last year, there was a bunch. There was a lot of really good ones.
Yeah.
He was the last kind of top-tier receiver taken. So I always thought, like, why is that? You know, why did Denzel Mims fall? You know, why did, and I'm still trying to understand that. Now, obviously, last year, you kind of saw a little bit, okay, a little injury, a little inconsistent. But the whole team was inconsistent, so you can't put that on them. Now, I think Denzel Mims is going to be a high risk, high reward. It's either going to be a flop or he's going to be really good, right? You know, I feel like that's how it's going to be. Either he's going to have a season like last year, or you know, he's going to be really good. But now I don't see him breaking out, you know, 1,000 yards and all that. We got too many weapons on this team now. I don't see him kind of coming in being the number, you know, the number 2 guy right away. I still think he's on that rookie level, maybe with Elijah Moore. I see Jamison Crowder getting in there. You know, I see Corey Davis doing well, but again, Corey Davis has had injury concerns, so you know I could see Corey missing a couple games and Denzel Mims flashing in a couple games. It's all about the chemistry. It all starts in practice, right?
Yeah.
Zack Wilson's got a bunch of these targets now.
Yeah, and I mean, depending on when he comes in, we'll figure out. Whenever he gets in the building, we'll figure it out, like you said, because that chemistry needs to be worked out. But I was kind of shocked by what you said about maybe Mims not being the number 2 guy straight away, because there are some people that have talked about maybe even Keelan Cole sneaking in and being our number 2 wide receiver. And I was like, I mean, he's a good, you know, he's a solid player, but Mims to me is unbelievable. His catching radius, I think he was misutilized within the offense last year, and we saw flashes. But like you said as well, you know, it's just all about getting him out there and figuring out what he really has, because he was so underutilized last year and, you know, put in positions where he really couldn't do anything. There were games last year where he literally, the second half, he had no targets. Like, it was like the game plan was basically to put him on the bench and we never see him again, you know?
So what was going on in practice?
Yeah.
Keelan Cole was kind of Zack Wilson's guy, right?
Yeah.
So it all depends on the game plan. We have so many weapons that I think the Jets are going to realize, okay, this game against the Patriots, we are going to rely heavy on Tevin Coleman He's got a good game plan against this. And guess what? We're going to use Denzel Mims here. We're going to distract the defense with Crowder and Corey Davis, and we think the matchup with Denzel Mims is going to profit, right? So I think we're going to look at it every game. The next game, it could be Jamison Crowder. Okay, Jamison Crowder has a favorable matchup. If this guy is against, so we have the tools now to pick and choose our game plan and not just rely on one receiver or our number 2 receiver.
Yeah.
You know, we got 5-6 guys out there now where it's like anybody can have a big game. And that is going to rely on the coaching staff, not the individual player. Corey Davis is the big money guy, right? I don't see us like targeting Corey, kind of like twice every possession. You know, that he's not going to be. We want him to, but I think the game plan is going to fit where we got a rookie quarterback. He's probably going to rely on his outs, his running backs going out into the flats, his tight ends a lot more, maybe the little slot guy. So as far as a guy like Denzel Mims, he needs kind of an elite quarterback to have the numbers that we think he's going to have. So at this point, I think you're going to see a lot of the guys have even numbers. Maybe one might stand out more than the other, but it's going to be game specific.
Yeah.
So we got so many weapons now, and again, it's going to go by practice. You see Keelan Coleman, he was like, he showed a lot of highlights in there. Elijah Moore too. So
yeah.
I really didn't hear a lot about Denzel Mims. Don't get me wrong, he's got the tools, but I think he's just a chess piece in this game. You know, and he's going to be, like I said, he's going to have favorable matchups in certain games. So it all depends on who gets the favorable matchup, and that relies on the coaching staff, man.
Yeah, and you're bringing up a great point. And when you talk about the coaching staff and you talk about the scheme, that's another thing that I always talk with people about as well when I speak to Jets fans about, all the numbers that they're thinking that everyone's going to have. Like you said, everyone's saying, hey, Mims is going to get over 1,000 yards, and Elijah Moore he's amazing. Some people said he's the best Jets wide receiver that the Jets have ever drafted, and all these things. He's going to have big numbers, and Corey Davis is going to have big numbers. And I always say that, I can see those guys really having solid seasons, but because, like you said, the weapons across the board are so solid, maybe this game they go off, that game they go off. But I think a bigger part of that, too, is I think the implementation of our running game, I think, may not allow our wide receivers to have as big numbers as we all think, because the running game in this Shanahan scheme is unbelievable. We look at everywhere that this scheme has been, they run the football hard and heavy. You look at what they did in San Francisco, the myriad of backs, how many touches, that our backs are going to get. I think it's going to be pretty big. And so that may cut down on the amount of targets that some of our wide receivers may have. You know what I'm saying? Because our running game is working so well and it's so good. When you look at what San Francisco was able to do, they were running, they were one of the better rushing offenses in the league, and they had a myriad of backs out there doing their thing. So that's something that we could see here as well, because our running game is going to be so solid this season. With this scheme, we could see maybe our wide receivers not get as many targets every game as we all think that they could get. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the thing. You got to trade individual statistics for wins.
Yeah.
So if Denzel Mims has 3 catches, 40 yards, but he has a big touchdown late in the game, that's good enough for me, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Same thing with Corey Davis. If he has 4 catches, 52 yards, but 2 big touchdowns in the red zone, like that's what we're going to see this year. I think that's kind of how it's going to play out. We're going to see maybe a couple receptions, 50, 60 yards, maybe a big touchdown. And that's what we want from these guys at this point. We don't need a 1,000-yard receiver, man. We don't need that. That's not team. That's not team playing. That's individual. We're done with that now. I think we have enough players that we can collectively all have a good season and all have big catches on third downs, all have big touchdown catches. You know what I'm saying? So the 1,000 yards, it's a stat, man. I mean, we're not in that this year. We're worrying about the W's, man, the wins.
Yeah. And so, Angelo, listen, you're bringing the fire right now. My next question for you, my friend, is when you look at the defensive side of the ball, what position group battle are you looking forward to the most, man? Like, what group do you look at on this defensive side of the ball and say, there's a lot of question marks, man. I want to see who comes out of the scrum there.
Man, I always bring the fire, man. Come on. So I called a couple days ago and you asked me this, and really it's every position, man. I look at it, man. C.J. Mosley, I want to see him get in there and fight, be the leader. So our linebackers are kind of, it's going to be a whole new crew. So I want to see them kind of get together and play. Defensive line is all new. Corners are all new. Safeties are new. Now, the thing is with the safeties, we got to be careful with Marcus May because I don't think Joe's going to put the money on the line. I feel like from Joe's standpoint, it's a new system. Yes, Marcus is like, the leader of the defense. He's, a long tenured player, but is it really worth it to give him that extension now? I mean, I get Marcus May, but I don't think that happens, man. I really don't think that happens, and I hope he has a great year, and we have to pay him a bunch next year. But that safety position with LaMarcus Joyner now and Marcus May, that's something to keep an eye on because if Joe doesn't pay Marcus and he comes out and he plays ball, we're going to have to pay him, or Jets fans are going to be pretty pissed off that we didn't pay him, and now he's going to sign with another team.
Well,
so that safety position.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, that again, and you're bringing up a great point, but that in my mind puts pressure on Ashton Davis. Because, like you just said, if Marcus May, man, listen, if Marcus May comes out and plays well, and does what I think he could do, everyone knows I'm a big May guy. I talked about him constantly. We saw him play pretty well last season, team MVP, a leader, all those things. We saw him have impact out there on the field. If Joe Douglas does not want to sign him to a solid deal, and again, long-term deal for him. Again, I know he's up in age. He's I think he's like 28 or something like that, 28-year-old safety. It doesn't mean you have to sign him for the next 6 years and give him $100 million. No, give him a solid, maybe 3, maybe 4-year deal where option out on the last fourth or something, or on a 4-year or something like that, where you pay him decently. I think that's more of along the lines of which you can get away with when you try to bring in Marcus May. But if you do not sign him to a deal, which we didn't, now we got to wait till next offseason, and he goes off and has a big season this year, again, in Sulla's defense, where we've seen safeties have success, and we all know that Marcus May has a crazy skill set, right? Very versatile. If he goes off, then what do? Because if you don't sign, we didn't sign him this year, what are you going to try to franchise him again next year? You're going to be paying quite a bit. And if you don't, then, hey, the number's going to be up because he's going to go off. And if you decide to just walk away from him, Ashton Davis better be ready, man. Because if he's not ready, you're pretty much trying to figure out the safety position yet again.
Yes, but I agree with Joe Douglas. I can see him sitting down with Marcus May and telling him, like, hey, man, we got a new head coach, new defensive coordinator. Let's see how you fit in this system, man. Let's just play 1 year. And you know what, man? We're going to pay you. We're going to pay you if you play well, and that's it, if it all goes well. Mm-hmm. But it goes back to the other thing. It's like, man, he's our guy. He's our captain. So just give him the money. It's tough being the GM. And I'll tell you what, man, that the safeties and the corners are something very interesting. There's a lot of new guys in there. And we kind of, obviously the whole defense is all new, right? You're going to see the defensive line, but I feel like defensive line is going to be pretty solid. It's going to be fun to watch, right? Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch the battles and who gets in there, who rotates. Linebackers led by C.J. Mosley. It's going to be interesting to see who gets that weak side spot, right? It's going to be rotate, a couple of rookies, and Cashman, hopefully he stays healthy. The corners, you got Bryce Hall, Bless Austin. I think with our first round draft pick next year, we got to get a stud corner. We got to get a corner one of those first 2 picks.
Well, listen.
But it's going to be interesting to see how.
Yeah, listen, that's where I wanted to go with you next, because I know you said, hey, next year we should be looking for a stud corner, but there's some Jets fans out there that are saying, hey, look, we need to make a trade for a guy that's out there. In my mind, I think we should be probably targeting a pass rusher, but I want to get your thoughts on this. There's some Jets fans saying, hey, we need to target Chandler Jones. We need a pass rusher right now. What are your thoughts about the idea of the New York Jets trade for Chandler Jones? Is that something that you want to see, man?
See, it's nice, right? You'd want that, but I don't think we're in the position to do that right now. We don't know if we're going to be a great team. We're full of potential. So if you know you're going to be if you're coming off last year, a playoff team where we made the AFC Championship game, and we're that close, yes, you got to get them. But at this point, we got the players. Plus, I think we got to give Jabari Zuniga another shot. Yeah. And listen, I'm a Florida Gator, man, but I always had high hope for our draft picks, but I don't think he's going to be a Chandler Jones. I don't know, but I think we got enough depth on that defensive line now. And I think at this point, we drafted Zuniga, I think, with a 3rd or 4th round pick last year. Mm-hmm. You at least have to give him a shot.
Yeah.
And same thing with Cam Clark. You got to give him a shot. But and it was interesting to see us sign Morgan Moses for a 1-year deal because, usually those kind of 1-year deals on really good players like that are playoff teams. So, I think the Jets see something. Hey, man, if we get Morgan Moses, we have something here. Like, this is kind of the guy we need. But then again, what happens next year? So maybe at the first round next year, do we get a corner? And then, I don't know if we resign Morgan Moses or if we let Fant go or whatever it is, or do you get a right tackle in the draft? So, the whole Chandler Jones, we can't do that, man. I think we're done. I don't think we're a trade. We're not a trade team right now. Maybe during the season, let's say during the season, we're off to a good start. We're probably 7-2, hopefully 7-3. That's probably not going to happen, but if we're at that point, yes. Let's get some other. Let's see what we can get. Out there. But at this point, we're playing with what we got, and I'm excited, man. Like I said, that backfield in the running game, we got a lot of pieces there, and I think it's really going to come into play next season.
Yeah.
And see where the guys fit, because we got a lot of guys in a lot of positions.
Yeah.
A lot of corners, right?
Yeah. A
lot of defensive linemen, a couple safeties, a lot of running backs. So a lot of offensive linemen now. Mm-hmm. So at this point, what players are we going to retain for next year? What players are going to prove themselves this year to get that next contract?
Yep.
That's going to be interesting, and that's what goes on with the position battles. But at this point, dude, Chandler Jones is nice, but where are we going to put him? I mean, we got so many players there already. Let's just let's go with what we got, and I'm confident that we're gonna have a great season, man. I feel pretty good. It's going to be very entertaining to watch the Jets this year, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm right there with you. And my final question for you is, man, because you're talking about all the guys that we got, what is a player that you feel like a lot of people are sleeping on that you think is going to be able to have a big time impact? Give me one guy, man.
Man, I think it's got to be Sherwood or Nozzle Dean, those side linebackers. Because that's the need. Because that's the need.
Yeah.
That's what we need, right? We need that. That's the only spot, right? That we're kind of like, okay, well, we need a guy right here. Cashman, injury prone. Now we can throw Cashman in the mix too, because he's actually really good. I like Cashman. He just can't stay healthy.
Nope.
So, man, what if Cashman has a breakout season and he's healthy the whole, he plays his potential.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever is that weak side linebacker spot, and I'm hoping it's Cashman, man. I hope he just stays healthy, but at this point, I see a Sherwood, man. I like Sherwood, Najee Dean. Those guys look really good in college, and we got them at good values in the draft. I think one of those two, okay, so looking that Cashman will probably be hurt. Hopefully not. We want Cashman to play the full season and play well, right? That's what we want.
Yep.
But I feel like Nasruddin or Sherwood is going to come in and they're going to play well. Those are two guys to watch. And then obviously the tight end position, because we're not really settled there either, right?
Yeah, no.
So, I know you're big on the Ebola, right, man?
Yeah.
You love that guy.
Dude, I can't wait.
We got him.
Yeah.
So that's another guy to watch too, because if he can play to his potential. But he was undrafted for a reason now. Let's not, we got him, yes, but he was undrafted for a reason. So let's watch that tight end spot. Let's watch that weak side linebacker spot. Those are the two where we have to see a breakout player there.
Yeah.
And if it's Ebola, Griffin, or Herndon, watch out for Herndon. Everybody's kind of like forgetting about him. But he was another guy. I think you could throw Herndon and Cashman in the same category.
Yeah.
Those two guys need to produce, or we got guys behind you that are going to take your spot. So let's watch the linebacker, or let's watch the weak side linebacker. Let's watch the tight end this season. Those are the positions that we need to figure out right now.
Listen, Angelo, you brought the fire tonight. Give this man a hand, man. Give him a
Come
hand.
on, man.
Come on, man. Giving you a hand tonight, Angelo. You brought the heat, man. You brought the heat. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Come on, man.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen, Angelo.
That's it. I'm just Speaking the truth, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in tonight, my friend. You have yourself a good night, man.
All right, Joe. I'll talk to you soon, man. See you.
Absolutely. You have a good one. Listen, Angelo calling in with fire, man. Come on, man. The place was melting down, man. It was melting down. Came in, broke down what he has to say about Joe Douglas. I love the takes, man. I love going back and forth to people. Salutes to Angelo again. I want to thank him for calling in. He had a great call tonight. So, listen, man, a lot to talk about. Training camp, again, right around that corner. It's here, actually. We'll see what's going on as the week continues to go out. I'm just hoping that Zack Wilson, is signed. Please make it happen tonight. Or can we get it done by tomorrow? I don't want to see this continue to linger. I don't want to see him miss more practices. I don't want to see that at all. We got a lot of people out there, reporting. Everybody's reported except for him. Everybody's out there except for him. He's the only guy, missing. Like, come on. We need to get it going here. You look at the offensive side of the ball. I know a lot of people, we've had a lot of discussions tonight about players that, we're looking at right now and saying, hey, who could end up losing their starting spot? Listen, there's a couple guys. I look at the tight end position. Hey, Chris Herndon. Man, it's your time, bro. If you don't step up, then you're going to get stepped out. For real. There's so many guys at that position group that can put on, from Yeboah to, to Griffin to all the guys we have there, Croft. If you're not ready to go, you're going to be out of here. That right guard position is up for and open for another player as well. You look at the right guard position, Van Roten, Lewis, those guys are terrible. Those guys are completely terrible. I could see Cam Clark stepping in there and taking that spot and making it his own. I really, really could. Also look at our running back position as well, and I'm wondering, when you look at that position group battle, woo, there's some fighting to be had. Tevin Coleman is there. P. Ryan, we'll see. A lot of people saying P. Ryan's the guy that's on the outs. Michael Carter, we just drafted him. He's phenomenal. You look at Ty Johnson. We're all excited about him. That is going to be a battle. That's going to be a fight. You go over to the defensive side of the ball, there's some questions there. We talked about that linebacker spot as well, that weak side linebacker. Hey, Cashman, are you going to be the guy that's going to step up? If you do step up, hey, are you going to be healthy? That's the biggest thing with him. You can be as good as you like, but if you're never on the field, you're out of here. You know what I'm saying? And again, like Angelo talked about as well, Nezrodine, I could see it. Sherwood, I could see those guys stepping up and taking that position. There's guys as well. Other cornerback position too. It's a lot of question marks there as well. Bless Austin. Shaky, baby. Very shaky. Very shaky. We got to see what happens to him. Bryce Hall, I'm excited about. And after that, there's a lot of question marks. I know a lot of people were talking about Steven Nelson and Brian Poole. Those guys have gone elsewhere. They've signed. So we've got who we've got. And we've got to figure out what's going to happen there. Isaiah Dunn could end up being a guy that really makes his rounds and could really maybe fight his way up the roster and possibly challenge, to be a starter. He could challenge to be that, man. I could absolutely see that because the door is so wide open there at corner. Big time question mark. So I want to thank everybody that called in tonight, man. Phenomenal. So much fire, so much passion. We're in camp. We're trying to figure out what's going on with this team. And again, man, I just want to see this team, okay? After we figure out all the things we got to figure out, Zach is signed and players are doing what they got to do and we're getting ready. I just want to see us go into camp healthy and come out of camp healthy. Please, can we do that? Please, can we do that, man?
Here we go!
Please don't get a big time injury during camp. Please. I don't want to see any of our players missing when it's time to start this season. I want to see us ready to go at full strength. I really want to see that. So I am hoping and praying that we stay fully healthy. Okay, that's what I want to see. So I'm going to close out the show. Salutes to everybody, man. Such a great show tonight. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. Love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I'm also on Twitter as well at YoungJ000. Again, that's YoungJ000. Go ahead and follow me. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I am the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will have my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. Okay? USC, fight on. All right? We got a hell of a guard. Okay? Great trade, Joe Douglas. We got a great guard in the building. All right? And he's going to be barreling through people next season. All right? Just run left. Any questions about what we're doing offensively, there shouldn't be a question. Just run left, all right? So he'll be down there, I'll be down there, and we'll troll you. We'll go back and forth. I'm also on YouTube as well at Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Please subscribe. If you want to troll me on there as well, no issues. Hit me in the comments. I'll troll you right back. Again, please subscribe to the channel if you have not. Please turn on your notifications once you subscribe and give my videos a thumbs up as well. Also share the streams. You know, I love, again, going back and forth with everybody. I love getting feedback about my content. And as always, people, when I see you in person, because eventually I will see you in person, all right? It is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. The hugs will cost you absolutely nothing. They will always remain free, all right? I want to thank you folks for watching and listening. Without you people, I am absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the times out of your day to listen and watch the show. All right. I truly appreciate it. I want to thank Mateen Commit for coming on from the San Francisco Jets fan club. Salutes to him. Everybody, please get involved with everything that they're doing out in San Francisco. That's a great group. So you folks have a good one. Peace. 1 second, folks. All right. So I am back. Listen, I want to thank everybody for calling in. Salutes to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Man, what a great show. We had a lot of fun. Again, we'll continue the shows as it goes on. I think I'm going to come back. I don't know what I'm doing my next show, but you guys will definitely know because I put it all over the place. For those of you that are watching me, exclamation point links in the chat. If this is your first time watching me, exclamation point links in the chat will bring up my link tree. Okay. That's the links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there and, follow me across all my platforms, every single one of them. It's greatly appreciated when you guys do that. It also has the links to all of the charities that I'm involved in, all of the, all of my content, all of my YouTube content as well. So go ahead and go down there. It's also in the description of the video as well. So you can go down there and, just follow me across all my platforms and listen, talk to me because I go back and forth with a lot of people. Again, if this is your first time watching me too, we do a lot of stuff on this channel, not just the radio show. We also game from time to time. We play a lot of games, Street Fighter, all kinds of things. That's going to continue once my schedule evens out a little bit more. And so we have a lot of fun doing that. We talk about real life. We talk about all kinds of things. We just have a lot of fun in here. So salutes to everybody. And again, I want to thank everybody for watching me tonight and calling in because it was phenomenal. Again, that's, the link tree is in the chat. So salutes to everybody again. Everyone, again, thank you for watching. Salutes to Cliff Hopkins. Thank you for watching. Cliff says, you said the same thing about Sam Darnold. Now he's in Carolina. Listen, Sam Darnold is good. I still think he's a good quarterback. I just think that we didn't put him in the right situation. If Sam Darnold had the weapons that Zack Wilson has right now, if he had the offensive line, I think we'd be talking a lot differently about Sam Darnold. But when you give Sam Darnold the horrific offensive line that we gave him for all the time that he was here, and you give him the lack of weapons that you give him, and then you turn around and give him, Todd Bowles, and then you try to finish him off with Adam Gase, what exactly do you expect him to do? There has never been a quarterback outside of Peyton Manning who was actually not even coached by Adam Gase, but there's no quarterback that's worked with Adam Gase that's been like, wowed you. They've always been good when they got away from him. Look at Tannehill. Tannehill had issues, right? And once he left and went to the Titans, now we're talking a lot differently about Ryan Tannehill, okay? Because when he was with Adam Gase, everybody was saying that he was a bust. He left Adam Gase, found himself with the Titans, and now, he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, okay? So it is what it is. But salutes to you, Cliff. Venom G, salutes to you as well. Good to see you in here as well. Venom G says, what's up, What's up, Joe? Good show today. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for watching. Salutes to you. Salutes to JW28 Martin. Salutes to you. He says, JETS, Jets. That's what I'm talking about. Salutes to you as well. Salutes to User Hitstick. Salutes to you. User Hitstick says, hey, Joe, just found the channel. Love the content. Thank you so much for finding the channel, man. Please subscribe, bro. Again, We do Jets content on here, but we also play games as well, man. So good to see you in here. Welcome to the channel, man. Salutes to you. Salutes to Sean. Salutes to you as well. Salutes to Johnny Jets. Good to see you in here as well, my friend. Just salutes to everybody, that watched the show and called in tonight. You guys are seriously the best. Salutes to King Co. Salutes to Skills Baby. Salutes to y'all, man. Again, man, I want to thank everybody for watching. I got to get out of here. My schedule is crazy. You guys are the absolute best. And listen, be safe, okay? A lot of crazy things going on around here. World's getting crazy, all right? Be safe out here. Enjoy your times with your families and have a good one, all right? I'll see you folks when I see you. You folks have a good one. We'll continue these shows. We'll continue having fun, and we'll get the gaming going on again and have a lot of fun doing that. You know what I'm saying?